So now we're recording.
All right, this is Karim Beldjilali from One Spirit Learning Alliance, and the talk today is the language of love. The language of love.
Perfect.
I'll do it twice.
Do it again.
Oh, okay.
Hello. Unless you just want it. Are you going to have that in there recording?
And now it's my pleasure to welcome from the One Spirit Learning Alliance of Men, Karim Beldjilali, Reverend.
Thank you. Hello. Happy Sunday. I'm so excited to be speaking to you today and about such a beloved topic, love. So first of all, I want to just acknowledge the love that it takes for all of us to be here today. That thing that compelled us to wake up, to get ourselves here, all the love that took to create this space, and that it does every Sunday. The love in the words and the actions of the prayers of our kindness and welcome to each other this morning. Just want to acknowledge that and just celebrate it. And so today, really, I started thinking about love, and the first thing that came up for me was, what is love? And then a song from the 90s came up, and it's like, baby don't hurt me no more. I was telling you about it. And that took like 2 weeks to work out and get out of my system. And that was wisdom nonetheless, because yes, with our conversation with love, there is heartbreak. And I want to speak to that today. And I want to also speak to how love is such an agent for change. That it is that thing that compels us, that propels us forward, that through that heartbreak, through the wound, shows us what else there may be, what more there may be, what we are yearning for, what is greater within us, through us, and all around us. And at the same time, how it just brings out, it is life. There's so many four-letter words associated with love. The ones I'm going to focus on are life and care. I feel like we use the words interchangeably. And as we were singing the song just now, I remember asking my father at one point, what is God? I don't understand this concept. I remember sitting in the car at 7, and he just said, God lives in your heart. And so love to me was and is God. That is my understanding of life, of God, of this energy that moves through us and as us and celebrates life and brings life. It is love. It is in our heart. So let's just explore a little bit, hopefully together, and just expand upon the richness that is love. It's lovely to think of it as that thing, that jaunt on the beach side, where it's a hyper-romantic thing, especially when you're here in the Hamptons. And that image is so much, and yet so little of what love truly is. It is the heartbreak and the joy, as I said. It is also life's conversation with us. All those little nudges that we get, all those curiosities, all those leaning ins, all those moments actually where we feel ourselves indeed shutting down or finding ourselves already shut down. Love compels us once again to lean in. And so when I'm speaking for the word care, I created, and it's an acronym I use for myself. Love is care, and care is curiosity. It is availability. It is responsibility. It is empathy. Those to me help me understand love from the multiple perspectives, all the ways in which we engage it and are it. And its language within us is so rich, isn't it? It's all around us in our artwork. It's Super Bowl Sunday, right? Right? It's in our sports, it's in our movement, it's in our humor. It brings life, it breathes life into things, and it is our existence, and that's why I use it interchangeably with life. Love compels that within us. And it is a language of deep listening. A vessel. We are that vessel, and we are the container of love and its expression. I want to start with a poem first. Khalil Gibran is probably the person that spoke to love in a way that just broke my heart, and in a lovely way. And he breaks it up into 3 parts. He says, when love beckons you, follow him, though his ways are hard and steep. And when his wings enfold you, yield to him, though the sword hidden among his pinions may wound you. And when he speaks to you, believe in him, though his voice may shatter your dreams, as the north wind lays waste the garden. It is a fascinating thing to have Valentine's Day in February, the last full month of winter, when nature's colors are at their most muted, when we get to see the sparseness of life, and yet know that spring is around the corner. Love is in its own way that thing which prunes us of those things that we no longer need, that no longer serve us, that compels us to look at these ideas and beliefs that served such a rich purpose, but we can let go of. And so the seasons of life, the renewal that is within us, that's what love compels, life compels. So that is just a little nugget there. And then Gibran keeps going. He says, for even as love crowns you, so shall he crucify you. Even as he is for your growth, so he is for your pruning. Even as he ascends to your height and caresses your tenderest branches that quiver in the sun, so shall he descend to your roots and shake them in their clinging to the earth. Love's gift to us. Curiosity, that first C word in care. How we engage love, how we can speak to love, how it shows up in our lives is often through our curiosity. To keep that beginner's mind, as the Buddhists say, to be open and see what is unfolding before us, to let ourselves be unfolded, to be vulnerable. Love compels that in us. And you know, we are in a society that has, and we have to acknowledge it, a very defensive way of engaging the world, right? What is the saying for it's like the best defense is a strong offense? Is that right, or I get it backwards? Because I should get it backwards, because it doesn't make much sense if you stop and think about it. If you want to be engaged with the world, be engaged with the world. This idea of a defense and an offense, maybe it's just about being. Maybe the game is just about having fun, not really winning. Maybe that's the joy. And so curiosity is love's true first gift to us and how it shows up in our lives every moment. Every turn is a gift. Every interaction is a gift. Every person is our teacher. And I understand, even at this time, this is a poignant moment to be speaking about this. I'm a refugee from a Muslim majority country, and I'm here speaking to you out of the graciousness and love that is this country, to be here. And so, love is an action and it is an openness. And to just know that and celebrate that is just such a gift. Something we can do at every moment, and that is available to us at every moment. The next piece, A, for availability. This is, again, probably the offense-defense thing, right? Vulnerability is love pushing us out there. To be open and just say, here I am, take me, God, like, use me, God, as I am. That is, for me, love's strongest gift. To know that we are strong in being, I don't want to say defenseless, but just open, just available. How available are we? A question always that we can ask when we are curious about love in our lives. And I don't mean like the romantic beach jaunting love. I mean, am I having joy in my work? Where's companionship in my life? Am I available? Am I available? Thich Nhat Hanh has a masterful way of exploring love. He doesn't really talk about love in the way that maybe the West does. And so for him, love is all about understanding. To know how to love someone, he says, we have to understand them. To understand, we need to listen. To listen. And so that conversation that love is always having with us, are we listening? Are we curious? Are we available? Are we, the third letter, R, responsible? That responsibility is really just us owning what is ours, our history, and addressing things head on. It's us being available to ourselves, caring for ourselves, showing, yes, self-love, self-empathy, self-loving kindness. I affirm for every one of us in this room that we have the full capacity, all of the gifts bestowed upon us, to have everything that we need and want, that we are whole and perfectly made, and that love is that thing which compels us and pushes us to affirm that at every moment. That reaching, that celebration, that is love in action. We are perfectly made, and love is ours because it already lives within us and through us. And then the E is that understanding, the empathy. This is a time where perhaps we note there is a real lack of empathy. And how do we deal with that? I don't know the answer just yet when times are this difficult. But I do know that when we are together, when we sit side by side and listen to each other, when we just create a space for each other, that when two or more are gathered, Spirit is amongst us. And there is a solution, a way, a new way, a creativity that love shows us the way to. And here's the circle again. We are back to being curious, and the C again is getting us to creativity. We are finding a new way. So to be reborn, remade at every moment, is love in action through us and as us. And I want to quote a bit from the Tao as well. Stillness reveals the secret of eternity. Eternity embraces the all possible. The all possible leads to a vision of oneness. A vision of oneness brings about universal love. Universal love supports the great truth of nature. That's the greatest affirmation for us. It is our true nature to be that love, to share that love, to express it, and recognize that there is oneness in that love. I think you were singing a Beatles song, Joseph, when I was walking. What was it again? All you need is love, right? That's what it was. How true is that? How true is that? Because from that springs forth so much and all. That I get to sit next to you and understand you, that I get to be curious, that it compels me to lean in and be available and vulnerable, and to be responsible. The last piece I just wanted to share, to make it an action. So yes, love is the way life cares. How we care is S, the service part. That we give of ourselves so much more than we even recognize. I acknowledge you all as coming here today. You are serving yourselves, and I bet so much more, your community, your beloved ones, your colleagues. That is love in action. Yes, we focus a lot on self-love, but the fact of the matter is, love cannot be contained and is not one-directional. It is radiant and emanates, and we just can't help that part. Thank God. So, consider what service looks like. Thich Nhat Hanh talks about what service looks like. He says, when we feed and support our own happiness, we are nourishing our ability to love. That's what to love means, to learn the art of nourishing our happiness. Joy is the clearest sign, and it could be small. This is not, again, parade down Main Street. This is joy. This is the small moments of deep gratitude, of connection, of satisfaction, of being of purpose. Those are service in your life, and that's how love is showing up in your life. Let us not forget those moments. Let's be grateful for those. That just lets us know even more so that love is ever present, that God is in our hearts, that God is moving through us. And for those moments of losing one's faith, and yes, we may have them, this last 2 weeks has been a roller coaster ride for some of us, to acknowledge that faith still lives within us because God's heart is in our heart, that love is still beating here, and that we are still together. The joke is in Trungpa Rinpoche talked about faithlessness or losing hope. And he said, well, you know what? Everyone loves something. Everyone loves something. And I think his exact quote was, everyone loves something, even if it's just guacamole. And it's true, there are moments when you let it all go, right? You just are like, I give up. And then you grab a chip. And there is love again. There is the joie de vivre, that richness that is life, compelling us once again. So it is this wonderfully ineffable, ungraspable power that is so alive in each one of us, that we are so grateful for its generosity, for its kindness. And it won't let us go. So at any moment, if you feel that it has let you go, recognize that in recognizing that, it has found you once again. And that it celebrates you. And you are its beloved. That is it for me. Thank you.